Hey there. Welcome to the Teams That Swear podcast. I'm Adrian Balarjan, author of Teams That Swear by Each Other, Not About Each Other. I believe the strength of any organization comes down to one thing: how well its people work together, and especially how their leadership team works as a group. Now, if you're looking for genuine strategies that actually work, you've come to the right place. This podcast is about cutting through the noise, getting to the heart of what makes teams tick, and giving you tools that you can use today. Have you ever had a moment that stopped you in your tracks and changed how you lead? That's what this episode is all about. We're going to unpack two moments that changed me. One involved a trip to Cameroon, the other, a piece of feedback that hit like a punch to the gut. And by the end of this episode, I hope you'll walk away with a clear understanding of those kinds of moments can shape not just who you are, but how you lead and how your team works together. So let's start with this question. What moment shifted your view of the world? Not just inspired you, but permanently altered the way you show up. I'm going to share an example. For me, that moment came in Cameroon. I didn't even know I'd been put forward to go to Cameroon. Baseball Canada had submitted my name to Major League Baseball International to coach and scout in Africa. Next thing I knew, I got a big bag full of Major League Baseball gear, and I was on a plane to work with clubs in Cameroon and Tunisia. And here's what hit me. The people I worked with lived in homes with dirt floors, clay walls, tin roofs. Cooking, in some places, was done over open flames. That's it. They had no oven or stove. A fridge was considered a luxury. Something as small as a Panadol for a toothache, most of the people I was with couldn't afford it. Now that experience shifted something in me permanently. Every time I catch myself complaining about a full inbox, delayed flight, a late coffee order, or a baseball field that doesn't hit my standards, I remember that trip, and it helps recenter me. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you paused to reflect on a moment that changed your perspective? Because as a leader, if you're not clear on what grounds you, you'll get pulled into everything that doesn't. I'm going to say that again. Because as a leader, if you're not sure on what grounds you, you'll get pulled into everything that doesn't. Now here's the second moment. And this one, honestly, it really hurt. What's the hardest feedback you've ever received? Not a gentle suggestion, not a throwaway comment, but the kind of truth that leaves a mark. For me, it came from someone I respected. We were sitting down together. I still remember his exact words. When I heard him, it was like getting punched in the guts. I wasn't expecting it. I did not love hearing it. It totally made me question my capability, but I respected him more because he said it. Because when someone gives you the truth like that, it means that they care about who you could be, not just who you are today. And isn't that what leadership should be about? Truth with care. Accountability with belief. A team that doesn't just support you, but makes you better. Now, I know we can't always predict these moments, but we can create the kind of environment where they're more likely to happen. Here's an example. I worked recently with a CEO who was already hitting every single metric that they needed to hit. They're award-winning, they're high-performing, they're respected by their board, but they felt something was missing. Their leadership team, brilliant individually. But together, not quite a team, at least not yet. So they took an A/B team dynamics assessment, and what came out of it surprised them. They weren't broken, but they were disconnected. Each leader was focused on their part of the business and not the whole. They were waiting on their boss, the CEO, to solve things instead of solving things together. After they had this realization, here's what started to change and evolve. They stopped avoiding the hard conversations. They started checking in with each other and not just their boss. And they got really clear on what mattered as a team and not just as individuals. And here was the big shift. Teamwork stopped being the CEO's job. It became the leadership team's job. They met differently. They talked differently. They worked differently. They became a team that swears by each other and not about each other. And that's where I want to land this episode. If you're leading a team, whether that's a board, an executive group, or a group of future leaders, ask yourself, when was the last time you paused to reflect on the people who shaped you? When did you last give or receive feedback that really mattered? And what would it take for your team to shift from relying on you to backing each other? Because the reality is this: great teams don't need perfect plans. They need shared ownership, honest feedback, and leaders who've done the work on themselves. So here's your nudge today. Don't wait for the next big moment to shape your leadership. Use the ones that already have. All right, that brings us to the end of this episode. Thanks for joining me on Teams That Swear. If today's conversation sparked a thought, a question, or maybe even a new perspective, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you're ready to transform how your team works together, reach out. I'd love to help. Because teams that swear by each other and not about each other don't happen by chance. They happen with intentional, deliberate action, and the first step starts with you.